I'm Tim Gane from Stereolab, and originally I'm from London. Um, I always use the same. It's Logic. I always use Logic. I've used Logic since 2 point whatever it was, 1998 I think. It was here in Chicago I first saw Logic. Well, we used Pro Tools then, but we used in the studio is a Pro Tools hardware, but a Logic software. And that's what I always use, and that's what I've used. I've never used anything else. Well, I mean, Pro Tools, I've never got to use the software part of it. I mean, when we recorded in Chicago with, say, John McIntyre, or he used Pro Tools all the way through. But for me, I don't know. I don't like to, when I'm concentrating on the music, I don't want to be thinking of the kind of technology or something like that. The Mustang that I use on stage now is my favourite guitar because it's really easy to play. Because sometimes I have kind of stretched chords, and it's a very thin neck, and it's kind of light body. It's not too heavy, and so that's my favourite. And also, I like the sound. I like Fenders. I like Fenders and Gretsch's, but I like Fender overall. Well, any Fender, I like it because I like the fact that when you strum it, you can, if you want, hear all 6 strings separately. And this is a kind of my favourite sound is a kind of like surfing sound, or a very clean chord, because if you're using like 4 or 5 note chords, you can't have a fuzzy Gibson. I mean, you can, I suppose, but I mean, it just begins to sound like prog rock, you know. Fender Twin, Fender Pro Reverb, Fender Bassman. I only use Fenders. Well, the ones I use now is the Big Muff, of course, Electro Harmonics. The old MXR Fuzz distortion, which is a kind of grey-brown colour. And that's my favourite, sort of the two distortions together. And I have an MX Tube Screamer, whoever makes that, is it Ibanez? And I have a homemade pedal made by a friend of Simon's, our bass player, which is a kind of auto wah. That is no name, but that is the best sounding one I've ever heard out of all of them. And I have a Leslie simulator made in New Zealand, I think. I can't remember the name of it. A DLR, I think they're called. Because I had one of those ones, the Hughes and Kettner ones, but someone ran over the lead and it blew the whole thing up. But it's very, very good Leslie simulator, the one I use. Yeah, I mean, in the studio we have a bunch of keyboards and everything all laid around, which we don't bring on tour. They're too old. And I just have, normally, I mean, in the old days, you know, you'd have a couple of guitars or 2 or 3 guitars, and you want to change them between songs and different parts, you know, tuning them all the time. I don't bother with that. I just have the one guitar. I just plug it in, and to me, it's more important or interesting to get it down kind of quick, and then later you can tweak it if you feel you need to. Well, we just built up our keyboards over the years. I mean, we started with one Farfisa Bravo and a Moog, a Rogue Moog or Rogue Moog, and we gradually sort of added to that until we have like quite a lot of big Farfisas, duo compacts. I have 2 or 3 of those. They're not all working, but we do have 2 or 3. We got Vox Continental, Vox Jaguar, which we are using live. We got Wurlitzers, we got Rhodes, we got. What else we got? We've got electric harpsichord made by Farfisa, which is great. We've got various things like that, yeah. Which we've just added to. I'm not so interested in guitars. I'm more interested in. I basically have a Gretsch Country Gentleman and a Fender Mustang, and that's the ones I use almost over everything.